Welcome back to another episode of the Cast Patrol podcast. You're joined as always by your weekly pairing of myself, Mick, and Jimmy. Just the two of us, Jimmy.
Again for another week.
Just again. That's
again.
3 weeks in a row that Age has missed the potty.
Age has just checked out. I think he's given up.
It seems to be like direct correlation with South's run.
Yeah.
Age seems to disappear.
Yeah, exactly right. And he just seems to be checked out. Doesn't want to jump on the pod anymore. So yeah, I mean,
It's all good. The show must go on.
it does. It goes on, of course.
Plenty happening in the Rugby League circles anyway to catch up on. So
Plenty.
let's leave him. But first things first. Cast Patrol merch is out. We released it last week.
Yep.
It's the cast tees. We're not wearing it on this potty.
No, we're
Shame
not.
on us.
We should be,
But you know what? It's cold.
it is cold.
I have to wear a
had,
jumper.
had to get the jumper on. It is cold today. Yeah.
But look, we have the cast t-shirts in 3 different colours. We have white, cream, and grey.
Yep.
And we have a bucket hat.
And bucket hats out
And
as
how
well.
good does the bucket hat look, Jim?
Bucket hats are unreal. Can wear it anywhere. Wear it to the beach. Wear it to sleep. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Cast tees are unreal as well. And they're good price as well.
Yeah, very good price. So we've made it $30 for
Yep.
t-shirts and $25 for bucket hats. So we're not making profit on these. We just want this merchandise to be accessible to
Yeah.
the listeners, to the followers. It's almost like a reward for us hitting 10,000 followers on
Yep.
Instagram. We want this to be a tribute to you guys that you can wear our merch and wear it proud.
Yeah, 100%. And if you guys do get yourself some merch, make sure to give us a tag if you wear it out, or wear it out and take a photo, tag us, because we'd love to see people wearing our stuff, which is always good.
And there's been plenty of orders already. So
has
thank you to
been.
everyone that has actually purchased because definitely doesn't go unnoticed and definitely helps the page grow.
Yeah, no, very grateful to see it. So thanks for all the support, and keep supporting us, and buy more merch.
Well, let's crack on to things. We'll catch up on round 5 of the NRL. As we always do, team that impressed you, Jimmy. Go.
Team that impressed me the most, mate, it was Manly for me, up against the reigning champs, the 3-time reigning champs in Penrith. But I thought they took it to Penrith early. Obviously going into the game, Penrith had the wood over Manly. I think they've won like 8 in a row or something versus them. But I thought they really took it to them. They were spreading the ball, left to right, which is I think what you need to do against Penrith. Obviously to get their defence unstuck. But I think especially the bench when they came on, Sipley, Nathan Brown, I thought were huge up the middle. Brown in particular was just going after, Fish, Leota, which is, probably the, informed props in the comp. So it was good to see, they laid the platform, which obviously freed up Turbo, DCE, Brooks to do their thing out wide. So Manly for me. How about you?
For me, it was the Melbourne Storm. I know by the time you listen to this, it's Wednesday, so it's about 6 days gone.
Yeah.
But what a game it was between Melbourne and the Broncos on Thursday night.
Unbelievable game.
Incredible game. Why I
and
picked
forth.
Melbourne this week is 85% completion rate, but the way they attack on both sides of the ruck is impressive. So you got your Eli Katoa on the right side, you got Sean Bloor, who almost identical players the way they play, hard line runners, and then you got the spine who just gel seamlessly.
Yeah.
And they haven't played together in, I think it was a ridiculous stat, like over a year and a half.
Yeah.
So to see all 4 of them in unison was in a spectacular sight. You can see Pappy's just warming up. He's getting better.
Yeah.
They're trying their outside-inside play.
Which has worked a fair
It's
bit.
working.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be a threat this year. No-brainer, obviously. Melbourne, they're always in the run.
They're always,
But last year, I think everyone was talking, they're fading a bit, but they're kicking on, and they'll be a threat come September.
Yeah, and I think it helps Munster's finally back, which, there was sort of a time where no one really knew what injury it was.
Yep.
Or we knew the injury, but when he'd come back. But it was good to see him back, and like you said, they're gelling quite well. Pappy, Grant, Hughes, Munster,
Yeah. And they got Coates, who's an X factor on the wing for
Exactly
him too.
right.
And then we always do our player that impressed us the most. So I'll kick things off.
Go for it.
For me, it was the Sunday games watching Scotty Drinkwater for you guys. He had his hands in everything. He scored 2 tries, set up a try, countless line break assists. He looks like a perfect fullback. And when I say that, he's got the running game. He's got the ball playing, definitely. He could play 5'8" and he wouldn't look out of sight. And he's definitely got the kicking game. And
100%.
in terms of ball smarts, he's up there with one of the smartest fullbacks in the NRL.
Yeah, he picks his passes well. Like you've seen it, when he does that cutout to, to Lungy or Feldt, or he'll hit Holmes early. I think, he's building a really good combination up there with Townsend and Dearden, and it's good to see. Cowboys are playing well. He's in form, so it helps for sure.
I do want to say I think he can be an Origin Smoky this year.
Yes.
So you've obviously got the incumbent Tedesco in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
You got Dylan Edwards, who's three-peat winner, probably the next in line fullback. Turbo is there, but I'd say he can play centers.
He'll play centre, I reckon.
He'll probably be centre. So why I think Drinkwater can be an Origin Smoky this year is in previous years he's been amazing. He's been up there in Dally M's, but that running game that he's shown in the first 5 rounds is he's gone to another level.
Yeah.
He's shown that he's not afraid to just keep passing the ball. He enables himself to take on the line and get through. So I wouldn't be shocked if I saw him in the Blues jersey.
No, definitely not. I think he picks what he does quite well. You know, he picks the right time to pass. He picks the right time when to run the ball. And, yeah, I think he wouldn't look out of place in a Blues jersey.
I think he'd complement the Origin arena well. He takes the pressure off the halves. He gives an option to ball play out the back.
Yep.
Because everyone knows the fullbacks now are the sweeping 5'8" essentially. So, I wouldn't be surprised seeing him in the sky blue.
100%. I think my player to watch, who I also think is an Origin Smoky, Wade Egan.
Yes.
Who absolutely tore the South Middles to shreds.
Oh, okay. That's a bit harsh.
But I think just his deception and his speed, his skill out of dummy half is right up there with, one of the, top in the game, top hookers in the game. If he can stay fit, I think he wouldn't look out of place in an Origin arena. Obviously, you've got, Appy, who's been in good form and who is the current number 9. Robson was there last year. Cookie's out of favour at the moment for South, which is unfortunate. So I think, he's fast becoming one of the top hookers in our game, Egan. And, like I said, if he stays fit and he continues his form, I reckon he could be a real smoky.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely up there for a smoky. I like the way he plays. He's very direct.
Yeah.
I think if you rewind a few years, he'd play direct but in the wrong way. He'd just go for scoots and try and score near the line. I think he's realised if he can take that running game and scooting from an only half and do it on the halfway line, it opens up the field for his team. And you saw that. He got straight through, passes on the inside, Sean Johnson scores. He's in and around everything Warriors do. And you can see when he's not there, although he's not their big name player, he adds to their team 100%. Attack.
And he's sort of a similar sort of mould to like your Appy, where he's got his jumps out of dummy half and he sort of drags out the marker and then he'll, play to, instead of going to toe, he'll play short to Chance or whatever it is. But yeah, I think his deception is next to, he's probably right up there, if not, with Appy as, one of the best hookers or top hookers in the NRL at the moment.
Now, I want to ask you this, Jim.
Yeah. Can
Warriors win the comp in 2024?
Mate, there's no reason why they can't. I think the way that they're playing at the moment, their spine of SJ, we spoke about Egan, Chance came back last week. He looks to come back in real good form.
And Tamari Martin looks like he's never missed a beat in NRL.
Tamari Martin has come in for Luke Metcalf, obviously, who went down with injury. He doesn't look out of place. They got Roger, who's come back, who, hasn't missed a beat by the looks of it.
And the thing with Roger that I think that he's added to the Warriors team this year is last year they were obviously a great footy and attacking team, but I think Dallin was their main target and they used to rely on him a lot. Now they've got Roger there, who's one of the best outside backs in the NRL, which is crazy to say because he only joined the NRL this year after a full break. So it looks
after a few years off,
looks like he's literally been playing the game his whole life.
Yeah, and like they put him on the wing.
I mean, he has been playing his whole life. But what I mean is without a break. He's gone to Union, made
different game,
made a different name for himself over there and then come back and in flying.
Well, we saw like the versatility, right? He was obviously playing centre. We saw him at fullback. He played on the wing on the weekend. So, that obviously gives some options for the Warriors in case of injuries. Capewell's been a good addition. He's won comps. He's played Origin.
And their forward pack dominates most when they play. They got Fanua Blake is one of the best props in the game. Tohu Harris, it just keeps getting better with age.
Yeah.
And then you throw in Barnett, Jackson Ford, who's having
playing unbelievable
career best season right now.
Yeah. And then their bench as well, with D-Walks,
the Bash Bros.
Tavanga, like they're a really good team. Couple of close results this season, they could well and truly be, undefeated pretty much. But
well, if it wasn't for that 1 in a million finish by Xavier Coates on the wing, they'd actually be sitting first right now on the ladder. Another thing as well is you look at teams of past decade, let's say, the top 2 in defence either go on to win the comp or make a grand final.
Defence wins comps.
Defence wins comps. So Warriors have actually conceded the least amount of points this season so far.
Yeah.
So
pretty crazy.
The signs are there. So they're attacking well. They're scoring 22 points per game and they're defending as one of the best teams in the comp.
Yeah, and like we saw last year, they made top 4. Everyone's thinking like, was it a fluke? Like, are they going to do it again? But it just looks like they've gone to another level like this season. So Webby's done an amazing job in New Zealand. The fans are getting behind them. We saw it last year, up the wires and everything. But I think they're a real threat, premiership threat this year for sure.
And the game against the Rabbitohs showed just what a powerhouse team they are.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Rabbitohs, we have to address the elephant in the room.
Yes.
Mine and Age's team. This is why Age leaves. He leaves me to do all the hard yards.
He doesn't want to cop it on the potty.
Look, no, he doesn't. We're in the media. We're one of the biggest clubs in NRL. Of course, we're going to get the clicks. It's hard to see as a South supporter, like the performances that happen on the field, because I think we're a very genuine and great club, just with some great players. On the field, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not sticking, and I don't think anyone has an answer at this point. There's like sometimes you look at teams that get the spoon, you go, okay, they don't have this, they don't have that.
Yeah.
No players here, coach, whatever. But you look at South and you don't really see an underlying issue. You see a star-studded roster that just isn't turning into performances this season.
Yeah, and like you said, look, it could be a million reasons of what's going on behind the scenes with South, but the bottom line is that they're not playing well. Their attack's not where it was, where it should be. That team that can pile on points defensively, they just in shambles. There's a lot of stuff in the media. JD's got pretty much 80 minutes to save his job this weekend, but I don't know what the answer is for South. They've made a few changes this week. Some warranted, some unwarranted. Who knows? But there's plenty of deeper issues I think that's going on. But I really hope that they can really bounce back into form, because like we said on the potty previously, they're a top 8 squad, as we know. But at the moment, it's just not gelling for whatever reason. So we'll just see what happens, I guess, with South.
Well, positive news for South fans. We're sitting 17th, last on the ladder. We can't go any worse on the ladder. So
which is
I have faith. Yeah. I don't think a spoon's going to happen to Rabbitohs anytime soon. So
not with that team.
Not with the team they got. I think it's only a matter of time before things start to get a bit of a roll on. Yeah. It's just trying to get that start.
Yeah.
But once things do, I think we'll start to get a roll.
We've seen in the past, once South get on that roll, they're pretty much unbeatable. When Trell's in that mood, when he's pretty much the best player in the comp, they're hard to stop. So I'm hopeful that we can see that at some point this year for South. But at the moment, it's I don't know if we can. Yeah.
So one of the changes that South's done, Jai Gray's gone into fullback. Latrell Mitchell obviously been suspended for 3 weeks for dangerous contact. He's a little pocket rocket. He's going to be an exciting watch this Saturday against the Sharks.
Jai Gray, yep.
Yep. He's come from Queensland. He's got glimpses in his game of... He reminds me of like an Anthony Milford type when he started off as a fullback. Like he's a natural 5'8", but at fullback he's still doing a job. And he's zippy off the mark. I think that's one thing that, because he is short, he's actually tougher to tackle.
Yeah.
Because you can't tackle like you normally, because you might head high, so you got to go low.
Yeah. And we saw a glimpse of it in the Charity Shield, where he came off the bench in the Charity Shield, and he looked like real lively in attack, and it might just be the spark that South need. A bit of X factor, bit of the unknown. We're really keen to see how he goes on.
And he's
Saturday.
definitely got the carrot dangling in front of his face, because if he plays well, look, Latrell might move to centre, or he might earn himself a halves gig. He might earn himself a spot on the bench. There's options for him. The best part about him is he can play a few positions, and
he's versatile. Yeah,
he's that X factor we need. I think South, when we've had success in the last few years, we've had a really good number 14. Like you look, when we had Benji Marshall off the bench, he could just add a spark. Like Taff was in and around there.
Yeah,
we've always had someone that can just come off the bench and add something.
And he might potentially come in and do a job.
So speaking of young guns stepping up in the fullback role, Chevy Stewart making his debut for Raiders this weekend.
Yeah, well, he was our rookie to watch, aged rookie to watch in the preseason.
A lot of hype about him. lot of people banging the drums in Canberra about him.
Yeah,
So
I think. Well, they sort of in the preseason they spoke pretty highly of Chevy and how he was potentially the next in line to play fullback. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he goes on Sunday night against the Gold Coast. Like we said, from all his highlights in Cup and his sort of younger career, he's very fast. He's exciting, which is adds a lot more speed again in that Raiders backline. They've already got Savage, Schiller, Timokor, Chris, and now to add Chevy Stewart. I think it's going to be pretty lethal for him.
And on the other end of the spectrum, you got Cole Feldt, your mate.
Yeah,
we spoke about in the past few weeks. He's overtaken Matty Bowen now to become Cowboys' all-time top try scorer.
How good was that? Off the intercept as well.
Off the intercept, it's like it was planned.
It reminded me of the intercept that Matty Bowen took in Origin.
In Origin, it did.
It was like a carbon copy.
Raised the hands as well.
Raised the hand.
It.
Felty knew. But yeah, congratulations to Felty. Obviously becoming the top try scorer. He's been
overtakes Matty Bowen, who's a rugby league icon.
Yeah,
to many.
So I think it was 130 tries. I don't think anyone anytime soon will be beating that record, beating Felty's record. But it was good to see. He's playing good footy, Felty as well. He's good carries over our end. He's obviously a great finisher, as we know. But yeah, it was good to see him overtake that, and he collabed.
He collabed on Instagram with us. That was probably the shock of the week. We made a graphic for him all time, collabed with Golden Boot, who makes the graphic, and then we sent it to Cole Feldt just by chance, and he accepted. So there you go, Jim. We have now collabed with Cowboys' all-time top try scorer.
Yeah, how good's that? Special stuff. But on that as well, DCE over the weekend became the most capped Manly player in history.
That's massive. Overtakes Cliffy Lyon. So a few record breakers this weekend.
But how good is DCE going?
He's just getting better and better with age.
Like he's 35, but he just feels like over the last few years, like he's just gotten better.
Yeah, you could put him in the top 3 halfbacks in the comp
easily,
without fail, without arguments, without anything. I can put my hand up when he was taking over Cronk for the Origin. Everyone's probably like, "Nah, this guy's not it." Like he's a good half at club, but he just excelled to it a completely another level.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What are some other players that have excelled and just getting better with age?
Well, you've got obviously Tohu Harris. We spoke about him when we were speaking about the Warriors. He just keeps continuing to get better. He's got his both knees strapped up. He just looks like he's going through
every part of his body strapped up.
It looks like he's going through the wars, Tohu, but he just every week works hard in the middle, ball playing. He creates a lot in attack for that Warriors team. You got SJ, 33 years old, another one who
should have won the Dally M last year.
Probably should have won the Dally M.
He got a point off. It was close enough. He's still got his deadly sidestep, and his bombs are phenomenal.
Like his kicking game, his running game, he's back to that sort of SJ of old, which is good to see.
I'll throw you one. Rapana from the Raiders.
Ridiculous.
How old do you reckon he is?
Oh, be in his 30s, wouldn't he?
He's 34, turning 35 this year. And he's still playing the key position, the fullback, still fast.
And he's just going.
And he still runs for million meters a game.
We saw on Sunday night he sort of went off. They was talking about a dislocated kneecap or something like that. And then he strapped it up and he wanted to go back on. That just shows the attitude of Rapana. Like he's just wants to be out there for his team. The players want him there. Benny Hunt's another one, 33. He's just continues to excel in the Origin arena especially. And, he's playing good footy for the Dragons. So, yeah, it's good to see, all these players, they just keep getting better with age.
I love it. Let's get on to round 6, Jimmy. So
yes,
that was good. That was a good recap. We've done well. I think Age will be proud. He's probably listening at home going, damn, those boys did good.
These boys know what they're talking about.
Yeah, but let's go on to round 6 preview. As always, sponsored by TBC Live. Predict, banter, and win. Plenty of action for all the weekend's games. Be sure to jump on the app. Download it via the App Store, Google Play. If that's too hard, we'll put a link in the episode description and in our bio.
Free to play and prize on the line, so make sure you sign up for sure.
So at least Age, he's not here, but he has been doing some stats for us. So we've got some stats courtesy of Age, the stat man. So let's kick things off, Jimmy. We got Knights versus Roosters, first game of the round.
Yeah, so Age has put in a stat. Roosters have won 6 of the last 7 games versus the Knights.
Okay.
I reckon we got Tedesco's out.
That's a big out. But Manu is a handy fullback replacement.
Manu's a pretty good replacement at fullback. Sammy Walker's out. But yeah, I don't know. I think Newcastle. I think I'm leaning towards Newcastle at home.
Yeah, I think I'll be tipping Newcastle. I think Roosters just in their back line having Michael Jennings. Don't know what year it is. And they got Pauga in their back line. I think it. And then you're throwing Connor Watson at 5'8". It's definitely not the spine. Sorry, the spine, I guess, and the back line that we're used to by the Roosters standards. Dom Young obviously being out and Tedesco, huge loss.
Yeah, plenty of
And Knights are pretty much at full strength, bar Tyson Frizzell, but Dylan Lucas
is a handy replacement.
He's a handy replacement, and Kai Pearce-Paul, like out of nowhere, they've got these 2 second rollers that you didn't even hear about last year.
Yeah, Pearce-Paul's playing some good footy, but yeah, look, Newcastle. I think it was a much needed win last week at home against the Dragons. I think we spoke about Newcastle's sort of last chance territory for them. So it was good to see them get the win. And against, sort of a depleted Rooster side, I think they'll be too good.
Yep, and Age has gone the Knights with us. That's 3 Knights. Storm taking on the Bulldogs. Storm have won 12 straight games at Amy Park.
Yeah.
And I think that will continue this Friday.
Yeah, the band's back together for Melbourne. Melbourne should win and should win comfortably.
They've gone unchanged 1-17. Stephen Crichton, fullback for the Dogs.
Good to see.
This is their chance to showcase what he was bought for.
Yeah.
He wants to play that fullback role. Kira's gone back to the centres. I think that will help him out.
Yeah, plenty of sort of injuries, especially in the forward pack for the Dogs. I think is a worrying sign.
And Addo-Carr's back, but the forward pack, Max King, apparently done something with his wrist. So
I think he's got.
I don't know how he's
fracture
named.
of some sort. Yeah,
Marnie's having a good season. To be fair, Chris Patolo, Kikau, Curran, Salmon. So I think if you throw in one more meter eater forward in there, I think you're looking at a very good pack. But I'm going Storm with this one.
Yeah, Storm for me.
Yeah, and Age has gone to Storm as well. The other game is Broncos versus Dolphins.
Queensland Derby.
So Broncos have never lost the Dolphins. Small sample size, 2 out of 2, but it's what you do.
Yeah.
And Broncos have won 4 straight games at Suncorp Stadium. They get back Reece Walsh this week, so
handy.
That's a huge in. But I guess they lose Adam Reynolds, so it's a matter of who's more important for the team.
Yep.
Who do you think will goal kick and why?
I think
Walsh or Staggs.
I think Walsh will goal kick. I think he did a bit of it last season when Renault was out. Staggs can also goal kick, but Dolphins, they just can't take a trick, can they?
Nope.
They cannot take a trick. Herbie, huge loss for them. He's been really good this season. Flegler, I think there's talks that he's going to be out this week, but he's got named.
Yep.
I think Broncos.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Broncos. In saying that, Dolphins are sitting pretty at the top of the table. Wayne Bennett doing a masterclass over there. But I just think Broncos, although they have all these players out, they just continue to turn up. And they put it to Melbourne. They put 30 points on them.
Probably should have won, to be honest.
Probably should have won. I think not having Renault there and not having Walsh on the field, you can't go without both of them. And it definitely showed because Broncos were in the match until Renault hurt himself. So, he's a big loss, but Walsh back definitely lowers the blow. Next game around, you got Warriors taking on the Seagulls. So, Warriors won 7 out of their last 8 matches at Go Media Stadium. So, we touched on it before. The fans in New Zealand, although they had the hype train last year, they're selling out stadiums days in advance, sometimes even a week in advance. So, the home support's massive for them. I think the Warriors players thrive off it the most.
100%. Like, I think, we see when the Warriors play at home, like, they light show before the game, the whole atmosphere. I think, it just sort of brings on, the players go to another level, and we've seen that in the past. So, Warriors with that record at home or at Go Media Stadium, I think they'll win.
And Dallin returns back. He was obviously out against South Sydney. And Capel's in the back row with Ford. So good pack there.
Capel's back.
I do like this matchup. I think it's going to be a battle of attack. Warriors taking on Manly.
I think it'll be plenty of points.
Oh, plenty of points. Manly, obviously, they just keep showing up. So I'm just confused. I'm like, they're ruining my tips.
Yeah, they are.
I tip them against Dragons, they lose. Then I look at them against Penrith. I think there's no chance they beat Penrith.
Yeah.
So if they can beat Warriors in New Zealand, I think that will change fans' opinions a fair bit, thinking, hey, Manly are a real deal this season, especially with a fit Turbo because he looks incredible.
Yeah. Just on Manly, knock on, Tommy Talau?
That was definitely a knock on. I couldn't see it any other way.
Like, that's a knock on every day of the week.
Like they call they call them most times out of 10.
Like, if that's not a knock on, then I don't know what is. But anyway, like that's sort of the benchmark now that we're going with. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Warriors for me here.
Yep. Eels taking on the Cowboys. So Cowboys have never won at the new CommBank Stadium, albeit 2 games. Small sample size, but Feldt has scored 13 tries in his last 9 games taking on the Eels.
Yeah, Eels were
very underwhelming. I think
against the Raiders.
I think the changes indicate where they were probably lacking. Like Dylan Brown, I feel for him because he's not a halfback, not an organising halfback.
No.
That's why they've brought in Dijon Arcee this week. I think just to show maybe and take the pressure off Dylan Brown.
Sevo dropped.
To be fair, he didn't look in his return game. He wasn't running 100%. So I think injury related or something.
I don't know what's going on with Sevo, but yeah, Schiller was running rings around him on Sunday night. Eels, I just don't know where they're at the moment. Moses has been a massive loss. Cow's playing good footy, albeit we got to a point there against the Titans where almost shut the bed when it got to 28-22. But end of the day, we still won the game, which is good. And hopefully we can continue here. And
sad to see Zach Labert actually out ACL.
Yeah,
rest
young
of the
Zachy
season.
Labert, he looked real good this season. Sad to see another sort of long-term ACL injury. We obviously lost Colin Hess as well earlier in the year, so not ideal. But Tommy Chesters will be in centre for now. I think he will do a job for us. Hopefully we can continue sort of our run and beat Eels.
On paper, Cowboys should be winning this and winning well, but you guys are the most roller coaster team sometimes.
You don't know sometimes.
Like you almost lost to Titans there, but then you end up winning 13 plus.
Yeah.
So it's just very unpredictable footy.
It is.
But I'm going with Cowboys. I'm sure you're going with them too.
Yeah, Cowboys for me.
Age is making it 3 for the Cowboys. So far we're tipping all the exact same, but I think it starts to change from here. We got Rabbitohs taking on the Sharks. Rabbitohs won 4 out of their last 6 matches against the Sharks. And the last time Sharks beat Rabbitohs at a core stadium, ANZ Stadium, whatever you want to call it, it was 2008. So I've had the wood over him over there. I'm gonna tip Rabbitohs. I'm gonna do it to myself. I know everyone at home listening's going fucking biased dog.
Yeah.
I think the team will rally together and they'll put on a performance.
I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum.
Yep.
Every time I tip South, they've continued to let me down. So
Please stop tipping South.
From now on, I've made a pact to myself. I'm never tipping South again.
Wow, that's huge. Well, I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Age, the resident South Sydney fan, he's actually tipped the Sharks.
So maybe Age has been the mock this whole time.
Maybe Age been the mock.
Because he's a mock.
He's a massive mock.
Age is a mock, as we know. So maybe this is a reverse mock from him. I don't know.
Interesting to see how the South Sydney spine goes. You got Dry Gray, Dean Hawkins, Pete Mamazoulis in that hooker now.
Crazy to think this was the round 1 spine for the New South Wales Cup team.
Except for Cody
Except
Walker.
for Cody. So you had Dry Gray, Dino.
And Mamazoulis.
And Pete, who was playing Cup round 1.
So 3 out of the 4.
And now they're playing in first grade.
Yeah.
How times have changed.
Switched
in 5
over.
rounds.
In 5 rounds. Yeah.
So
some
JD.
forced changes, some unforced. I'm going South, you're going Sharks,
Sharkies.
and Age has gone the Sharks. We got Tigers taking on the Dragons. Tigers have lost 8 straight games at Campbelltown Sports Stadium, so it's a bit of a hoodoo for them.
That's not ideal, is it?
Nah, it's not good at all. I'm going to be tipping the Tigers in this one.
This was a toss of the coin.
This was a very toss of the coin. I just really dislike the Dragons. I think as soon as I tipped them to get the spoon, I'm just off the Dragons.
Yeah.
And I have a soft spot for the Tigers. I like what I see with Buller. He's just electrifying out the back. No Galvin this week. I think if
One more
Galvin
week,
was in, I think they're a lock to win. But Galvin's back next week.
I was going to say if Galvin was in, I'd tip the Tigers, but for now, I'm going to tip the Dragons. But they've won the 4 of the last 5 matchups versus the Tigers, so hopefully that can continue.
And Age has gone the Dragons as well. And then the final game of the round, Raiders taking on the Titans. Sorry, I'm going to drop my clipboard. Raiders have won 6 out of the last 7 matches against the Titans.
Yeah, Raiders should win and should win well. Titans are in all sorts.
Yeah. It's actually a miracle Titans aren't last at this point.
I saw a stat on the weekend. Titans have only scored 4 tries this whole season.
Something like that. Because remember we spoke about it before.
And the next best team have scored 13 tries.
Yeah. To score 4 and 5, it's not even a try a game.
I know they put
or
a
4
few,
and 4, whatever.
Yeah, I know they put a few tries together in the second half, so this may have been before that. But yeah, it's a pretty resounding stat that.
Yeah.
So obviously they're not scoring and they're conceding, I think, the most points.
Yeah. It's not where you want to
So Des, get your shit together, seriously.
That's bad. So I'll be going with the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders for me.
Okay, and Age has gone the Raiders. So that's our tips. Sponsored by TVSC Live. Be sure to use the link in the description.
Yep.
Let's get on with Tryscorer Tryfecta. So just to explain to everyone at home, we all pick a try scorer.
Try score each, and if two get up and one person fails, they do a chili shot.
Yep, it's a punishment, forfeit. So last week, Age chose Teddy. I chose Bradman Best. And Jimmy chose Feldt.
Just quietly, I've gone 2 weeks in a row.
Have you?
I went Herbie the week before, and then I felt.
But you know what happened? Age and I will hit this week. You won't.
I know.
And it will just be no reward for your correct tips.
Who are you going this week?
This week, I just talked about him going Bulla against the Dragons.
Bulla, yeah.
Yeah, I like Bulla. Yeah, not much more to say about Bulla. That's it.
Like it. Age has gone Pappenhausen, and he's got a stat here for me. Pappenhausen has scored 5 tries in his last 2 games versus the Dogs.
Yep, should be an easy matchup for him.
Yep, and I'm going to go Matt Timoko.
On fire.
On fire this season. He scored 4 tries in his 3 games versus the Titans. Good matchup here. Should be scoring, I think.
And the other one, fill up the fridge.
Fill up the fridge.
Explain how it works to everyone.
As you all know, front rowers only. So number 8 or number 10 or front row off the bench.
Yes.
So no back rowers, no locks. Last week, Age went May. Only played 20 minutes for some reason. You went JFH.
I don't even think he got a sniff.
Did he play?
Hardly. Sorry, Fish. Don't
Sorry,
come
Fish.
bash
No,
me.
I'm joking. And I went Tui, Kamikamitha. None scored. Who are you going this week, Mick?
Honestly, picking a front rower to score is as tough as anything.
It is
I'm going
tough.
Paseka this week based off vibe.
Pure vibe. I mean, that's
vibe.
all you can do.
In New Zealand, this would be a miracle try.
Yeah. For some reason, Age has got a stat here he's gone Campbell Gillard, who scored a double last time he played the Cows, which is quite remarkable.
That's pretty good for a front rower.
So hopefully he doesn't score. And I'm going to go Thomas Hazelton.
That's a good shout.
So South were shocking through the middles last week. And if they don't clean that up, Tommy Hazelton loves a try, and it will be hard to stop near the line.
Okay, like it. Listener questions, Jimmy. Take us
Listener
away.
questions. Here we go. At Mickey Valario, what rule would you like to change?
Ooh, what would I like to change? That's a tough one. Do you have anything off the top of your mind?
Off the top of my head, I don't. I wish they would look at the obstruction rule.
Yep.
I feel like I know it's been in the game for however long, but they're just not consistent with it sometimes.
No, it's
There's got to be an element of common sense.
I know, but then it's a different person in the bunker every time.
I get that, but it's the one that springs to mind is Moretti running into Gerbo when Turbo was through. Moretti was never going to get there anyway.
Even Edwards, when he got hit by Warrior Hargraves on the way through, he was probably 20 metres away.
Yes, so I would love to see that rule sort of not change, but get adjusted a bit. What other rule off the top of your head can you think of one?
Off the top of my head.
They've changed a few rules, which is good. I like how you can go for a short kickoff and it's a play the ball.
Yes,
And
I like that.
So I guess it entices teams to go for it a little bit more.
Go for the short drop out, yeah. I don't like the rule when it's going out of play and you can touch it and just you can have a foot out and touch it.
Yeah.
Just always confuses me a bit. And I look at them like, I don't get that. I don't like it.
Yeah. That rule's a bit weird.
I also think forward passes one day, definitely having some sort of chip in the ball or something to like work out if it went forward. Not like I know a ball always goes forward when you pass it backwards, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it travels a little bit, but just to like work out definitively and then they can rule on it in the bunker.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any other rules I'd change. I'd like to see more 20-40s.
Yeah.
Can a team do it? Can someone do it?
It's just like, why are you kicking from your 20-40 though?
Like if you're on the back foot, I reckon you just go it.
I wouldn't mind like stopping the clock for every goal kick. I hate when the goal kick just like takes a minute off the time. It's a minute less of footy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That's all hypotheticals. What's the next one?
Next question at Phoenix 8.11. The Raiders, this is not a question, but it's a statement. The Raiders are going to win the premiership this year and Timoko gets Dally M. Thoughts?
No. Sorry, bro. That's too far.
Timoko might get Dally M Centre of the Year.
Yeah, he's competing against like Tungo and stuff. Who he
Like,
said,
but you
was
know,
unreal.
that's likely. Raiders to win the comp,
Probably not.
less likely.
Way less likely.
Yeah. Anyway, but I like where your head's at, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Next question at malthornto.4. Can Titans and Rabbitohs bounce back with some changes to their lineups?
Well, I think we just spoke about. I think they can definitely bounce back.
Yeah.
Like, can't go any worse than they're currently
Both
going.
teams can't
well,
go
they're
any
sitting
worse.
16, 17. So on the ladder, they statistically cannot get worse unless they add an 18th team and that 18th team jumps them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's only way up for both those teams.
Yeah, agreed. And then last question for this week at Schmeira_J.10. Can Cowboys make top 8? Well, do you one better, Schmeira. We'll make top 4.
I think top 4 is not out of question.
Yeah. Top 8 minimum.
I think many people had them Cowboys win the comp last year.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a delayed effect and it's showing now.
100% we can make top 8. That's it.
Is that all the listener questions?
That's all the listeners. Yep. That's it.
So no cast calls this week because me and you forgot to plug it last week.
We forgot to plug it.
So
Yep.
this
Sorry,
week
guys.
we have to plug it. Age the boss has told us we have to.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to know, who is your most underrated player of 2024? So use the link in our episode description. It's called Cast Calls.
Yeah.
All you have to do is you click start and you record and you can say who is your most underrated player. So if we
Say
were
whatever
talking,
you want. Send us anything.
So Jimmy could say, oh, Wade Egan,
Yeah.
why, explains it, and we'll listen to it next episode and review it.
We'll play it on the potty
Your
next
voice
week.
will be heard on our podcast. Do you have anyone most underrated player of 2024?
Not off the top of my head.
Nah,
right now.
neither.
You got to give me some time.
Oh,
I'll come back with one.
I don't
next
mind
week.
Ethan Strange. I know people are getting on the Strange train, but
Yes, Ethan Strange.
looking very good. And remember, final thing before we go, Cast Patrol merch is out. Be sure to check it out. You can get it at www.thecastpatrol.com.au.
And while you're on there, join the Cast Club.
Join the Cast Club. Sign up
up
with your email, mobile number. You get instant alerts and deals when you want to buy it. So thank you to everyone that's bought it.
Yep.
And we'll be back next week for an incredible
Hopefully,
episode.
Age is back next week.
Oh, you'd hope so at this point.
If not, he's done.
If he takes 4 weeks off of pods, I don't think he's got any annual leave left.
No, he's kicked off the pod.
Oh, I hope so. Maybe we just ban him off it. But that's all from me.
And that's all from me.
And we'll catch you guys next week.
See you guys.